Guys, Yahaya Bello has now been reported to Interpol. That means if he travels out of the country by any means, crook or legal, he is going to be arrested in any other country that is support of Interpol, that is in support of Interpol rather. So some countries in Africa and of course around the world has been alerted. There's what they call red alert. So if he goes to any of this company, they have the authorization to arrest him and to extradite him or whatever thing that the Nigerian government should think that should be done to him. So watch out for this. Alright guys, do you know this guy on your screen? I believe you must know him. He's the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. And the other person is Usman Ododo, who is the current governor of Kogi State. Now, this thing has been online for some time now and running into months, whereby this guy was supposed to have been arrested and maybe locked up by now, but he has been evading all those EFCC, ICPC, and the rest of them because he was smart enough to have installed someone that he had picked. He had picked the current governor of Kogi State. So when he had issues and EFCC wanted to arrest him, guess who came to his rescue? The governor of Kogi State, Usman Ododo. Now, I think this is a very smart move. Politically, it doesn't mean he was, or it's right. It doesn't mean it's the best thing to do. It doesn't mean that it is morally right. But I think this is where you play the political chess. Putting someone that that is going to help you when you are out of office. And I think that has been a reason why a lot of states are having problems. A lot of political figures are having problems. Because when they want to leave their position, they want to put someone that they are sure that is going to have their back when they step out. And the reason why they are doing this is because they actually know that they did a lot of shady things. And if they should put someone else there, or if someone else to get there by his own means without them backing the person as a godfather, the person might not really regard them, the person might not really cover up for them, the person might just come up and say blatantly, oh, this was done this way and it shouldn't have been done this way, this was done this way, this money was stolen, this money was moved, this money was transferred, and open up the whole thing, the whole kind of worm and implicate them. So they usually try to put someone that they know, someone that they trust, someone that they might have actually groomed. So the case of Yahaya Bello has been trending online. People have been calling on EFCC to do their job. Because remember there was one time the EFCC governor, EFCC, the head of EFCC said something that if he didn't prosecute or if he's not able to prosecute Yahaya Bello, then he was going to resign. And the news was all over the place because he was accused of an 80 billion naira scam or fraud. And also EFCC alleged that he took about $700 and something thousand, to pay for his children's school fees in advance. Not as if the school fees is due now, but in advance, because he that he was stepping down, and if he steps down, he was no longer going to have access to the state fund. So before he stepped down, he used the state's money to pay for his children's school fees in advance. Now, those are some of the charges behind, that are surrounding this man. Of course, there are other charges. I think other 12 count charges around this man, and the court has been seeking to have him. But he has also refused to attend the court proceedings because he knows what is in line for him. Because if he wasn't actually guilty of all this crime, I think he shouldn't be afraid. He would have gone to court to defend himself. But since he has been hiding, technically means that he is guilty. And of course, EFCC have also come to post some pictures, of the receipt for payment that they used to pay in the schools. And we also heard that the school also is willing to return the money. Because the school have seen the whole thing, the brouhaha that is happening, and be like, okay, guys, if you want this money, come and take it back. We are just a school, we are just an educational institution, and if people pay their money, we'll take their kids. So we don't know how the money was gotten. It's not our business to find out how it was gotten, but if this money is going to be fraudulent, come and take it. Of which, I don't know if EFCC have gone to take the money, but I think they would have gone to do that. So the whole point of this is that politics, like we all know, and like people have always said, is something that you go in there, you take your own share, and you leave. There is no sense in politics like they say it. Of course, some people are actually very upright. But, a lot of people don't act uprightly. They just go there and take advantage of the system. If you check out some other old governors, and I think his own case is coming to the forefront because of some reasons which I cannot be able to explain right now. But there are also other governors that might have even done worse than him, because to some extent, he wouldn't have known all this thing if someone didn't tell him. Let's face the fact, when someone go out and someone comes in, maybe they go for a conference, and someone will be like, oh guy, are you doing this thing? Do you know you can get money from this side? Do you know you can award some fake contracts? Do you know you can start a big white elephant project? No pun intended. Of course, he called himself White Elephant. Maybe that was how he got the whole idea, because you can start a White Elephant project that you are not going to finish, but you keep sinking money into that project. Meanwhile, the money is not actually going to that project. The money is actually going to you, to your other company. That is a proxy company, which, there are myriads of ways that these politicians can get money out of the system. Of course, that might be a talk for another day that might dissect some of this process. Because a lot of governors, of course, some have been sued, indicted, and all of that, but it keeps happening. It keeps happening because, you have access to the whole pie. When you have access to the whole pie, you are the commander of the whole state. The whole money comes through you. It's really hard not to take action. It's very tempting. So when you see them doing that, don't know it's because of the money that is coming to them. However, the federal government is trying to do the local government autonomy thing, whereby the money of the local government is going to go to local government direct, which I think is a good thing to some extent, because if it goes to local government direct, then maybe the local government chairman and the rest can be able to implement direct policies and infrastructure development directly to the local government. So maybe we might start seeing some development in local government. But like we all know, when it was only from the president, there was corruption. When it's coming from the governors, there is corruption. So if it starts coming from the local government chairman, the corruption will still continue to happen. The only thing that is going to change now is the fact that the local government chairman is going to suddenly come into a lot of money. And we know what happens when people come into a lot of money. They start misbehaving. So they will squander it the way they think, the way they want, spend it the way they want, start signing some fake projects, because they're going to be like, oh, it's my turn now. The governor has been sitting on this money for years, enjoying these largesses for years. Now, thank God it has come to us as a local government chairman, so we'll also be that. So they are going to be gods in their own arena, and they are going to also spend the money. However, I'm still hoping, let's just be positive, that some of them will still use the money for good things. So if they do that, hopefully, there will be development in the local government areas, and we'll start seeing growth, and not just, something that is happening, because a lot of states, it's just the state capital that you see developed. Go to a lot of states, you see that it's just the state capital that is developed. Other local governments are not really that developed. Go to, let's say, Niger State, go to Nasarawa, go to, which other state would I call Kogi, go to some of these states. You will see the capital developed, having double lanes, having flyovers, and street lights. But immediately you leave the capital and start going to other local government, you might just see one road passing through, and then small roads that are not even good, and a lot of bad roads. And that will be it. Even Lagos, as big as Lagos is, as popular and wealthy as Lagos is, Ikeja seems to have been developed over time. But even up till now, there are some places you go to, you wonder, is this part of Lagos? Very bad, unfunctional roads that are, some roads are not even passable in Lagos. It will shock you. But I think Lagos is center of excellence. There are places you go to Lagos that you can't even pass. You have to go and take another route to be able to get to where you are going to. And if you are stubborn enough to say you want to go with them, maybe your car will just sink in. Or if you are going with a bike, you'll sink in. So even Lagos, as big as Lagos is suffering from that. Infrastructure, road network is a problem. So you can imagine what other states that are not as big, that don't generate as much revenue as Lagos will be going through. State like Kogina, state like Nasarawa, state like Yobe, and the rest of them, what they will be going through. So their capital will be kind of good, not really good, but kind of good. There will be some flagship double lanes, street line in the center of the town, and some roundabouts that are prominent. But after that, the governor is done. It doesn't go to the rural areas to go and do anything. They might just have one road pass through the local government, and that road might not be that good, but at least there is a road, and that will be it. So, but now I believe when money start going to the local government channel, maybe, let's just hope, maybe, if they implement this policy, then maybe the local government chairman are going to, they are going to begin to do something. So let's hope, let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's hope. Alright, however, what do you think about Yahaya Bello? Let me know your thoughts on this guy, and the fact that he has been running for EFCC. Do you think he's actually innocent? And do you think what Ododo is doing is actually right? Because he's kind of showing that if he is able to cover such person, a corrupt person, which I expect he will do based on the fact that he's his godfather, but someone will start thinking, okay, are you sure this guy also is not going to be fraudulent in his own ways? Eventually, that's a question to be answered. So guys, thank you for listening.